Hi, ladies and gentlemen, Nerdy Girl. How are you all doing? I'm having an out-of-body experience because I've been murdered at the Borderlin bar at Thousand Oaks, California, by Ian David Long, 28, a man with a long history of mental illness. You know, I'm already starting to sound like a broken record. How many videos have I uploaded about this? About these nuts and these crazies? I'm sounding like a broken record. I just did a video a few days ago, and now this. 12 people killed. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. Why do we have to get shot down? Why? For what reason? Because we do nothing about mentally ill men. We do nothing about mentally ill men who warn us well in advance. They warn us well in advance that they are sick, that they are crazy, that they are violent. They joke about it on social media, and we don't pull them over. We don't inspect their storage places. We don't inspect their cars, garages, attics. We don't at least pull them over and interview them, pull them aside. If we notice some man acting crazy like this, and I'm sorry, I know that I have a lot of haters on YouTube. I have a lot of haters on YouTube. And you guys know who you are. You know who I am, and I know who you are. There's this epidemic of misogyny in America. An epidemic of misogyny and fascism in America. Our fascist president, and he's a fascist. He's not a Republican. He's a fascist, is doing nothing to fix this. The problem is not the guns. The problem is that we do not pull over these nuts. We do not pull over these crazy men and put them away before they do something like this. We don't. We just let it slide. We like these prayer vigils, obviously. We like to light candles after the fact and give each other hugs, and I don't know, we like to cry. I guess we have a fetish for crying and having church services and singing Amazing Grace after the fact and crying, and all these high school girls hugging each other and crying each other's shoulders. I think America has a fetish for this because we're doing nothing. I guess Americans like this shit. I don't know. I don't like it. I wish I had my body. I have an out of body now because I've been shot by this asshole. How am I going to make YouTube videos now? How am I going to drive my truck when I don't have a body? I don't know how to overstress this. Ladies and gentlemen, pass the word. Talk to your congressmen, talk to your senators, talk to your mayor, talk to your legislators, that we change the laws, that when we see a man doing this, when we see a man doing this kind of crap, showing and laughing about it. Now, Ian David Long has shown that he was making fun of it. He was a Marine. He was in the military. Even in high school, he made this lady, coach and teacher, uncomfortable. She was afraid of him. This has been going on for years. We know that these men have a violent tendency, and we don't do anything about it. We think this is okay. It's not okay. He gunned down 12 people. What is it going to take? What is it going to take to wake up America, about this insanity? What it's going to take, and I'm going to tell you what it's going to take. I do have the answer. The answer is radical feminism is the answer for not only the United States of America, but it's the radical feminism is the answer for the planet. We need an all-female army. We need an all-female police force. Because men are basically a violent gender. They just are violent. It's always a man. It is a man 100% of the time. Not 99% of the time. It is 100% of the time. And we just look the other way as if nothing is going on. What is it going to take? We need to take any male in America, any male that's born with an X and a Y chromosome, any man or any boy that exhibits deviant, antisocial behavior, pull him over, lock him up, and examine him in a closed room where he's face to face, sitting at a table across from a psychiatrist, where he should be scared that he might not have a career, that he might be locked up in a mental institution before he committed these violent things. We need to make men afraid to do these things. We have to do this. This is my proposal. It's a radical proposal, and I know it's the only solution. I know it is. Whoever on YouTube wants to disagree with me, you can disagree with me. This violence by men in America is an epidemic. Now, I'm sick and I promised I'm not going to upload YouTube videos about this, but this is appalling. This is appalling that we live in a country that accepts this kind of behavior. Why don't we have this problem in France or Germany or Japan or China or Nigeria? I mean, we have violence in every country. But why do we have this problem in America? Why can't we pass legislation not to take guns away? Because people can be gunned down. People can be gunned down with cars. A car is just as lethal of a weapon as a gun is. It's easier. All you got to do is when you kill somebody with a car, just wipe off the residue and keep driving. But this is insane. This is absolutely insane that we're doing nothing about this. Are these killings going to continue? Of course they're going to continue. Are we doing something to stop it? Of course we're not doing something to stop it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's come to the table and somebody, please, somebody pass the buck that we need to pull over these nuts and crazies and evaluate them. Evaluate them, and if we see the violent tendencies, put them away so that they cannot commit these acts of violence. Anyway, Ian David Long had a long history of mental illness, which he has shown signs. This is not some kind of a lone wolf that has concealed his mental illness. It was broadcast. How come people don't see this thing coming? Now watch this ridiculous, horrific footage. I'm tired of uploading videos about this. I just uploaded a video about this the other day. I'm tired of uploading about this. This is making me sick. This is a nutcase of the first degree, and we have a person who speaks on Facebook that he's bored. I mean, he's bored, and basically he needs to have somebody to shoot because he's bored. So we have evolved to a society where every few weeks or every few days we have a mass shooting. I believe that the solution to this problem, this is what I believe is the answer. I believe that the answer is that the Republicans don't have the answers, and I don't believe the Democrats have the answers. I believe the answer is a bipartisan effort to give the rights of the citizens to bear arms. Because if the citizens at the Borderline Club, Thousand Oaks, had guns, they could kill this motherfucker before he could shoot all these people. People think that I'm some kind of a communist, that I'm some kind of a feminist bitch that hates men, that I'm a misandrist. I'm not like that at all. I'm trying to say that 100% of these violent crimes, not 99%, but 100% of them are committed by men. None of them are committed by women. And what we need to do is we need to pull these assholes aside, and when we see this kind of behavior, pull them over, sit face to face across from a psychiatrist, and have them evaluated. And we're not doing that. So what we really need to do is to have these assholes pulled aside, have them evaluated, and put away so that they cannot do these killings. That's my proposal. I'm presently a member of RefuseFascism.org, and I'm working vehemently, and I'm working very hard with our organization. There's a whole bunch of us that wants to see that asshole in the White House impeached, because he's a fascist. He had no reason to throw Jeff Sessions out. That was uncalled for. And now the attacks on Michelle Obama's memoirs, that was uncalled for. That was totally unprofessional. He's done at least 9 different counts or offenses that are impeachable offenses. But of course, he's got his boys protecting him. This country is going down very, very fast. Unless, of course, we put these people away. And this is what we have to do. If, as I said before, if I had my way, all-female army and all-female police force. That would be the solution to this problem. That would be the solution to this problem.
Terror, a man who served in Afghanistan, bursting into a bar, firing into a crowd. Clumsy entry.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 4 starts right now.
Breaking news first at 4. A popular bar packed with college students suddenly sprayed with bullets. 13 people are dead, including the gunman. And the horrific scene taking place in a city that's routinely named one of America's safest.
Yeah, that is Thousand Oaks, California. Look at this map. It's about 40 miles outside of Los Angeles.
We have 2 reports for you this afternoon. Let's get started right now with ABC's Natalie Brunel. She is standing by live near the scene for us this afternoon. Natalie.
Well, there is still a massive law enforcement presence behind me, and we're starting to see people bring flowers as we learn some of the victims' names. The community here just heartbroken today. A popular country line dancing bar suddenly sprayed with bullets.
I just started hearing these big pops, pop, 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 and the gunman was throwing smoke grenades all over the place.
A lone gunman bursting in last night and firing into the crowd filled with many students gathered for college night at the Borderline Bar and Grill in Thousand Oaks.
Why would someone come into some place where people come just to have fun and to not worry about school or anything and just take over and act like it was nothing, like it was careless?
Among the group, survivors of the country's deadliest mass shooting in Las Vegas last year.
So you were at the concert in Las Vegas, and now you have friends who are inside this bar during the shooting.
And most of the people that were at the Vegas shooting were in there.
Witnesses describing a scene of chaos and carnage.
So when our friends got the bar stools, they started slamming against the window so we could get out.
Among those killed, 22-year-old Cody Kaufman. His father devastated this morning.
Oh, sorry.
I love you so much.
Ventura County Sheriff Sergeant Ron Helis rushed in to help, but was also shot and killed. He was about to retire from the force after 29 years.
You went in there to save people and maybe you'll be sacrificed.
The suspected gunman, 28-year-old Ian Long, who deputies believe shot himself after the rampage. So many wondering how this latest mass shooting could take place in a community that just 2 years ago was named one of the safest in the country.
We're hearing so many stories of heroes from last night. In addition to Sergeant Helis, people throwing chairs through windows,
Rushing victims to ambulances and ultimately helping each other get to safety.
in Thousand Oaks, California. Natalie Brunel, ABC 7.
California killer Ian David Long had been in the Marine Corps and served in Afghanistan. Eyewitness News investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy in our newsroom. Chuck, what are you finding out about this suspect?
There was a trail of red flags in Ian Long's background: mental health, PTSD, and anger problems. In April, an emotional encounter with law enforcement, a disturbance at his own home. But what no one saw coming was last night's mass shooting at a Southern California nightclub. The 28-year-old Marine Corps veteran, a machine gunner by specialty, was deployed to Afghanistan in late 2010 for 7 months. His service over, Long was living with his mother here in Newberry Park, California, several miles from the nightclub where he went late last night and opened fire. The attack on the popular college bar was carried out with a .45 caliber Glock pistol, according to police, a gun that Long purchased legally, they say, along with an extended clip. A little while ago, investigators in Southern California with new information from the crime scene.
It's only been a few hours. It would be premature for me to speculate on the motivation, but I can assure you that we will follow all the leads that are developed through witness interviews, evidence recovery, the forensic evidence, any digital media that we recover, and we will be sure to paint a picture of the state of mind of the subject and do our best to identify motivation.
This video by a man inside the club as that shooting went down. Very little time elapsing from when Ian Long walked in the front door dressed in black until the moment authorities now say he killed himself. But in between, there were 11 bar patrons shot and killed and a Ventura County deputy sheriff. Federal law enforcement this afternoon is checking Long's possible radicalization and possible associates who may have been involved in the mass killing. But at this point, they say, there is no evidence anyone else was involved in the attack or that it was
Četvrtak. 8. novembar 2018. godine. Pucnjava u baru u Kaliforniji, 12 mrtvih. Napadač, mladi veteran. U pucnjavi u baru u Kaliforniji ubijeno je najmanje 13 osoba, među kojima i napadač, saopštili su zvaničnici. Ranjeno je 10 ljudi. Napadač identifikovan je kao mladi veteran. Pucnjava u baru u Kaliforniji, 12 mrtvih. Napadač mladi. You know what I'm saying? The shooting in the bar in California, 12 dead. The attacker is young. Veteran. U pucnjavi u baru u Kaliforniju ubijeno je najmanje 13 osoba, među kojima i napadač, saopštili su zvaničnici. Ranjeno je 10 ljudi. Napadač identifikovan je kao mladi veteran Ian David Long. Trump uputio saučešće porodicama žrtva i pohvalio reakciju policije. U country baru Borderlin u mestu Thousand Oaks sinoć se u trenutku napada ulazilo na stotine ljudi i pucnjava je trajala i kada je došla policija, preneo je AP. Let's replay the video. This is the devastation. The devastation. This is horrific. Multiple injuries reported. Bar and grill in Thousand Oaks. Here is a tweet from Vanessa Morales at the news desk in Chica. Hashtag mass shooting in California. Gunmen opening fire in the Borderline Bar Grill hosting college night. The shooter is dead. Right now we know 11 people are injured, including a deputy seen dragged out of building, multiple people killed at NBC. Hashtag Borderline shooting. This was at 4:18 a.m. of November 8th. A lot more is developed during that day. The police at the place of the shooting. Policja na mesto Pucniewe. Thousand Oaks is about 60 kilometers west of Los Angeles and has 130,000 residents. This is the violence and the carnage that produced 12 people dead. And then he turned the gun on himself. This is another bloodbath.
About the man who killed 11 people before turning the gun on himself. In fact, in his last known social media posting on Facebook, he said, quote, "Yeah, I'm insane."
We're learning disturbing new information about the 28-year-old former Marine who carried out the massacre at the Borderline Bar and Grill. As far back as high school, Ian Long was prone to violence.
He was the one student athlete that I had that I was actually scared of.
Dominique Coel was Long's track coach. She says he attacked her during a dispute over a cell phone.
He tried to grab it from me, and he reached around me with one hand, grabbed my butt, reached around me with the other, grabbed my stomach, and I'm holding the cell phone. I pushed him off me, and I said, "Stop. You can't do that."
She says Long was so angry, she was afraid he was capable of coming back and killing her.
I feel guilty for being thankful that it wasn't me.
She says she's not surprised that Long became a mass killer, but says she doubts if his actions have anything to do with PTSD resulting from his service in the Marines.
I don't know what he saw over there, but he was mentally disturbed before he left for the military.
There were other troubling signs. When he was a member of the baseball team, he wrote this in his high school yearbook: "Future goals after baseball, death." This shadowy image inside the Borderline bar during the massacre is believed to be Long. The day of the shooting, he posted this sick message on Facebook: "I hope people call me insane. Yeah, I'm insane. But the only thing you people do after these shootings is hopes and prayers, or keep you in my thoughts, and wonder why these keep happening." He reportedly continued to post messages on social media while he was actually carrying out the rampage. And look, this is Long's 27-year-old ex-wife, Stavrula Savares, known as Vivi. She married Long in Hawaii when he was a 19-year-old Marine, and they divorced 4 years later. She now lives in a $1.5 million home in Beverly Hills.
Here in Thousand Oaks, California, people were still trying to come to grips with the mass shooting when the wildfires happened. There's no question, this is a community in shock.
It's just so tragic.
Heartbreak as a young woman grieves for her friend, gunned down at the Borderline Bar and Grill. 20-year-old Christina Morissette was the club's cashier. She was one of the first to be slain.
How are you holding up?
Not so well.
Brooke Keeling says she survived by leaping out a window. Her hands were cut up by broken glass. Her mom, Carrie, hugs her close.
You must be so grateful to have your daughter.
Yes, we are. I heard the first 2 gunshots, which was like a pop pop, and I told my roommate, like, we need to go. We need to run.
Daniel Merrill immediately recognized the sound of gunfire. How so? Because she survived the Las Vegas massacre at a country music festival 1 year ago.
You can't let them win. You gotta keep going back and doing what you do, and I would go back in a heartbeat.
Amazing grace. This devastated community gathered for a vigil last night, comforting each other with hugs and letting the tears flow. Outside in the parking lot, the smoke from the raging wildfires threatening their city as if they didn't have enough to worry about.
This has been an unbelievable couple of days for your community.
Deborah caught up with Ventura County Sheriff Jeff Dean. He's become a national figure, spearheading the response to the mass shooting. And now the fires. Incredibly, he is scheduled to retire at midnight tonight.
You lost an incredibly brave man who just barreled right in and lost his life in doing so.
He was truly a hero. He was a highway patrol officer that went in with him, and they arrived on that scene and heard shots being fired inside and knew they had to go in to stop the killing, and that's just what they did.
It's kind of the definition of a hero, isn't it?
It truly is a hero.
I know this is the last day of a 41-year career as a member of the Sheriff's Department. I can only imagine the emotions with such intense investigations going on.
Candidly, I couldn't think of a worse way to end my career. The loss of life of a friend and a partner.
Well, sir, we thank you for your service as we thank you for your friend's service as well. You're good to be with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
The entire city of Malibu is now under an evacuation order. Turning now to the...
It's the 21st century, and we all have all these schizophrenic men that just are gun happy, and they decided they're bored, and they post on Facebook while they're shooting. We need an all-female army. We need an all-female police force. We need to kick out the asshole out of the White House. I read a book that came out in the 1970s. It's called The First Sex. It's written by a woman by the name of Elizabeth Gould Davis. And she quoted genetics and said that the Y chromosome is a stunted X chromosome. Men are violent by nature. Men are violent by nature. And the only solution to this problem is to keep a very, very close eye on violent men who show signs of being recluse, of being of a tendency to accumulate guns and pull them out. I propose legislation that the antisocial behavior put them in a mental hospital for life, even before they commit these crimes. I know that sounds brutal, but I believe that that is a solution to our problems. Where is my body? I'm in my office. Where is my body? Ian David Long took my body away from me. It's the 21st century. It's 2018. Schizophrenic men, manic depressive men, PTSD men, shooting up American citizens. This concludes my presentation about Mr. Crazy, Ian David Long. If you like this video, please click the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe down below. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching.